The starship Eclipse drifted silently through the void, its sleek silver hull reflecting the faint light of a distant sun. On board, Princess Zynara of the Xelthari Empire stood on the observation deck, her luminescent violet eyes scanning the endless expanse of space. Her long silvery hair shimmered like starlight, and her delicate iridescent skin glowed faintly in the dim light. She was a vision of otherworldly beauty, a being of grace and power. Yet her heart was heavy. The Xelthari Empire was on the brink of collapse. A relentless war with the Krylos Dominion had drained their resources, and their once mighty fleets were now scattered and broken. Zynara had been sent on a desperate mission to seek allies among the stars, but so far, her efforts had been in vain. The galaxy was a cold, indifferent place, and no one was willing to risk their necks for a dying empire. But then she found him. The Eclipse had detected a small, primitive vessel adrift in the asteroid belt of a remote star system. Against the advice of her advisors, Zynara ordered the ship to investigate. When they brought the lone occupant aboard, she was struck by his appearance. He was a human, a species she had only heard of in passing. He was tall, with broad shoulders and a rugged, unshaven face. His eyes were a piercing green, and his dark hair was tousled from his ordeal. He wore a simple, patched-up flight suit, and his hands were calloused from years of manual labor. He looked nothing like the refined, elegant being Zynara was accustomed to, yet there was something about him that captivated her. "Who are you?" she asked, her voice melodic and tinged with curiosity. The human grinned, a roguish smile that made her heart skip a beat. "Name's Jack," he said, his voice rough but warm. "Jack Harper. Thanks for picking me up. I was starting to think I'd be stuck out there forever." Zynara tilted her head, studying him. "You are a human, correct? From Earth?" "That's right," Jack replied, crossing his arms. "And you must be one of those fancy alien royals I've heard about. Nice ship, by the way." His casual demeanor was both baffling and refreshing. Most beings would have been awestruck or intimidated in her presence, but Jack treated her like an equal. It was intriguing. Over the next few days, Zynara found herself drawn to Jack. He was unlike anyone she had ever met, bold, resourceful, and unapologetically himself. He regaled her with stories of his adventures, of the worlds he had seen and the scrapes he had gotten into. His laughter was infectious, and his irreverent sense of humor brought a lightness to her heart that she hadn't felt in years. One evening, as they stood together on the observation deck, Zynara turned to him. "Jack," she said softly, "why do you not fear me? I am a princess of the Xelthari Empire. Most beings would tremble in my presence." Jack chuckled. "Fear you? You're not exactly scary, princess. Sure, you've got that whole ethereal space goddess thing going on, but underneath all that, you're just a person. Like me." Zynara's eyes widened. "Just a person?" "Yeah," Jack said, his tone softening. "You've got your own struggles, your own dreams. You're not so different from me, even if you do glow in the dark." His words struck a chord deep within her. For the first time in her life, Zynara felt truly seen, not as a princess or a symbol, but as herself. As the days turned into weeks, their bond grew stronger. Jack taught Zynara about Earth, its vibrant cultures, its breathtaking landscapes, its flawed but resilient people. In return, she shared the wonders of her own world, the beauty of Xelthari's crystalline cities and its vast, shimmering oceans. But their idyllic moments were short-lived. The Krylos Dominion had tracked the Eclipse, and their warships were closing in. Zynara's advisors urged her to flee, but she refused to abandon Jack. "We'll fight," she declared, her voice firm. Together. Jack grinned. Now you're talking, princess. Let's show these guys what we're made of. The battle was fierce. The Eclipse's advanced technology gave them an edge, but the Krylos ships were relentless. Jack, despite his lack of formal training, proved to be a natural tactician. His quick thinking and daring maneuvers turned the tide of the battle, and together, they managed to drive the enemy back. As the last Krylos ship retreated, Zynara turned to Jack, her eyes shining with admiration. You were incredible, she said. I've never seen anyone fight like that. Jack shrugged modestly. Just doing my part. Besides, I couldn't let anything happen to you. His words sent a warm flutter through her chest. Without thinking, Zynara stepped closer, her hand reaching up to touch his cheek. Jack, she whispered, I can't resist you. You've shown me a side of life I never knew existed. You've made me feel things I never thought possible. Jack's eyes softened and he leaned into her touch. Zynara, he said, his voice barely above a whisper. I feel the same way. Their lips met in a kiss that was both tender and electric, a union of two souls from different worlds. In that moment, nothing else mattered. Not the war, not their differences, not the vast expanse of space that separated their homes. In the days that followed, Zynara and Jack became inseparable. Together, they rallied the remnants of the Xelthari fleet and forged new alliances with other species. Jack's ingenuity and Zynara's leadership proved to be a formidable combination, and slowly but surely, they began to turn the tide of the war. But their greatest challenge was yet to come. The Krylos Dominion, desperate to crush the Xelthari once and for all, launched a massive assault on their homeworld. Zynara and Jack led the defense, fighting side by side in a battle that would determine the fate of the galaxy. As the dust settled and the enemy forces retreated, Zynara stood amidst the ruins of her once great city. Her heart heavy with loss but filled with hope. Jack stood beside her, his hand in hers, a silent promise of support and love. We've won, she said softly, her voice trembling with emotion. But at what cost? Jack squeezed her hand. We'll rebuild, he said. Together. And we'll make sure nothing like this ever happens again. Zynara turned to him, her eyes shining with tears. I couldn't have done this without you, Jack. You've given me strength, hope, and love. Jack smiled, his green eyes filled with warmth. And you've given me a home, Zynara. A place where I belong. In the years that followed, Zynara and Jack worked tirelessly to rebuild the Xelthari Empire, forging a new era of peace and prosperity. Their love became a symbol of unity, a testament to the power of connection across the stars. And as they stood together on the observation deck of the Eclipse, watching the stars blaze with light, Zynara knew that she had found something truly precious. A love that transcended worlds, a bond that would endure for all eternity. I can't resist you, Jack, she said, her voice filled with warmth and affection. Jack grinned, pulling her close. And I can't resist you, princess. And in that moment, as the stars shimmered around them, they knew that their love would light the way, guiding them through the vast, uncharted expanse of the universe.